You like that? I knew it'd take you a long time to get it.
All right. Well, Megan, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. And the business you have is the County Seat Barbers, right?
Correct.
All right. So where did the name come from?
Actually, I was called the Barber Bar first.
Yeah.
And I decided I didn't, want to keep that name anymore. I wanted to create my brand because that was never part of my brand, right?
Right.
So when the county seat came, I just kind of thought about what I wanted people to feel inside the shop, right? To be part of a community. And Angleton is county seat, right? So I am very fortunate to have investors. And we all just were talking one day. We were all in the parking lot while the building was being built and trying to come up with a name and finding a domain for a website and all this, which we don't have a website. It's been like a year and a half and we still don't have a website.
Oh, no.
But we purchased one right there on the spot when we came up with the name, the County Seat Barbers. And it gives me goosebumps still talking about it. But yeah, I wanted it to have a sense of community. And I also want to branch out. I want it to be something kind of big. So it covers a wide area. So the county seat it's kind of ballsy, but
I get that vibe from your Instagram. It's almost, talk about the interior design, because it almost looks like kind of like a little bar in there almost.
Yeah, what is that?
Okay.
What's the
so
style called?
The style?
Yeah.
The Smith style.
Smith style.
Yeah. It comes back. It reminds me a lot of my dad. My dad is my biggest influence in my entire life. So, fun fact. Okay, I do a lot of fun facts. I'm probably going to say this like 10 times during this podcast.
We'll put it on the screen.
We're taking notes. Fun fact number 2.
Hey, it's Fun Fact Friday with Megan. Fun fact though, I'm going to give you a little history of me, right? So, or a history of my dad. So my dad, when he met my mom over 30 years ago, everything he owned was in the back of his truck. And I saw everything that it took to work really hard for the things that you want in life to be able to provide for your family, right? So I always looked up to him. We watched a lot of Westerns together. So there's definitely a lot of Western vibes in there. But my dad was born in the 40s. So my dad is older.
Wow.
Yeah, he's 70,
he's a man's man.
He's 72. Yeah. Yeah, he's a man. That is 100%.
That's when men were men.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When men were men. And he has all those morals and values of being brought up in the 40s, right? He was very poor as a kid, but he's always worked really, really hard. He has incredible work ethic. And but my whole life, you know what he cut his hair with? A Flowbee.
What is
Have
that?
y'all heard of a Flowbee?
Did you think we knew what that meant?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, so no, not you over there looking.
Yeah, I haven't seen a thing. I
So
haven't
a
seen
Flowbee
scissors
is
in
an
a while.
attachment that goes onto the end of a shop vac, and you can get it in like different size increments, right? And it sucks up your hair and it cuts it. So he's never gotten a professional haircut my entire life.
Whoa.
So this whole time he's worked so hard for everything that he provided us. My mom was this great, fantastic stay-at-home mom. She, made sure that the house was always clean, dinner was always prepared. She was like the ideal stay-at-home mom, right?
Yeah.
And my dad, he worked all the way to be up to an engineer, and he dropped out of high school when he was 15, because that's what you did back then, you know, to provide for your family. You either work or you go to school. So he worked so hard, and he just never gave back to himself. You know what I mean? He never gave back to treating himself to anything. It was just always about us, right? So I wanted I'm not from here, okay?
Where are you from?
Yeah, where are you from?
I'm from Columbus.
Ohio?
Actually, I was born in the Woodlands, but no, not Ohio. It's in between.
That's the only thing I know.
That's like the halfway point to Austin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bingo. Halfway point.
why
Where
everything-
71 meets I-10.
Okay.
Everything is Austin? Is that what
Everything is Austin and Dripping Springs.
That's
Hey,
like-
can you pick up your mic?
Yeah, for sure.
Bring it like right to your mouth, like where it is for us.
Yeah.
And hear the
Oh, yeah.
difference.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Sounds good.
I just want the audio version to sound really crisp.
You got a nice voice.
Thank
You should read, I don't know, bedtime stories or something.
Oh
I
my
need a side
gosh.
hustle as well.
Yeah.
You got that, that business or that little hustle that some people have that they, what is it called? Where they read, but they put people to sleep.
Oh yeah.
What is that?
I listen to those every night. There's
ASMR?
different apps.
I don't know what it is, but
the one I listen to is called Calm.
Oh yeah.
And they just read you like a bedtime story, or
they just talk, and it's like a soothing voice. She has.
You have
you
have a soothing voice.
Thank you. When I retire, I will keep that in mind. So anyways, I just, I was very inspired by Brazoria County and the plants and everything. And there's so many men down here, and there's nowhere for them to go, right? Like there's places for them to go, obviously. There's very great places, but there's nowhere where they can go to give back to themselves. You know what I mean? Like, where women go, we pay $150 to get our eyelashes done, and it takes an hour and a half. You know what I mean? And it's a great nap, but it's a very expensive nap, right? So I wanted to create something where these hardworking men can give back to themselves. They can be part of a community where they know people. You have that barbershop atmosphere where it's like, oh, hey, Mike, I haven't seen you in a while. Just kind of have that dialogue and that connection, right? But at the same time, you're there to take care of yourself, to give back to yourself, to give back to your hygiene, to feel better. And that way, when they walk out of the door, they're walking out the door taller, refreshed, and just be able to give back more because they're feeling their best self. So
that's really cool.
Yeah. So you do beards and haircuts is it only men or women allowed too?
So actually, fun fact.
All right, number two.
So fun fact, all the women who are in our shop we're all barbers, right? But so we attract a lot of women because we are female barbers, and hairstyles are changing a lot with women. I personally, I think when I cut your hair, my hair was very short.
Yeah.
Very, very short.
It was.
So I had, style is changing, and women are getting shorter haircuts and more barber style cuts, right?
Right.
Not that a cosmetologist can't do their haircut, but we just have a lot of experience with clippers. So they feel more comfortable hanging out with women, right, who do this for a living. And plus, the vibes that we give off and everything. So yeah, we do women's haircuts as well. Now, we don't give the salon experience. We're not going to blow dry you out or do color or anything like that. But we definitely, we welcome anybody who wants to come in. It's just, our vibe is our vibe. You're not going to get the same salon experience that you would get at Urban Eve or something like that. Something, to that scale. Right.
So you cut, you won't traditionally cut long hair. I guess what we're getting at, you'll cut like shorter hair, but if someone comes in and needs a trim on like maybe your length hair, would you still do that? Or
yeah, I mean, I will give the same spiel that I just gave to you. It's like, hey, we'll be happy to help you out, but also people can't really just walk in. That's a blessing to be able to say, but like, you can't just walk in. You kind of got to have an appointment because we book up really fast, right?
Yeah.
But we lop off time. So if you're coming in for a beard trim, there's a specific amount of time that we're dedicating to you, and we're not going outside of that time. Like, that time is for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we have so many times throughout the day that's just already dedicated to other people. So if someone walks in, typically we hand them a card and we just explain to them like, hey, we'll be happy to have you, but this is what we offer. If you're about it, we will make you an appointment. If you're not about it, I have great recommendations down the street. So.
And you have a great reputation. I heard about you at work. You used to work at, I think it's called Amen.
Amen. Yeah, it's called Amen.
Yeah, so that was in Lake Jackson, and I heard a bunch of buzz going around about this girl that cut beards and did good haircuts, and I was like, who is it? And then I later found out that you had married my cousin. Yeah. And I was like, oh, what a small world. And it doesn't only start in Lake Jackson, but I actually went to the boardroom in Clear Lake.
Yeah, and I taught a lot of classes at boardroom. It's pretty cool.
There was someone there, and I'd mentioned your name, and they're like, oh my gosh, she's huge. And I was like, who is this girl that's taken over Lake Jackson and now in Angleton?
Wow.
So
and Brazoria County.
And Brazoria County. Oh, so I'm sorry.
Yeah. Fun fact.
The greater Houston area.
I'm just speaking into existence,
Yeah.
Yeah. So the boardroom, you brought that up, man. So the boardroom is definitely inspiration as far as their theme. Like they have a cool theme going on in there. And I worked at somewhere very similar to that called Roosters in Pearland. It's how, like I started my life over in Pearland. Like I'm one of those that's like, I'm going to leave all this behind me and I'm going to go over here now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I started over at Roosters and I worked for Sport Clips for like a long time. Like probably 7-8 years. So I started out at Sport Clips. I talk a lot and I talk in circles. Probably should start from the beginning, but
well,
That's good.
who cares?
So that's where I first learned that a men's haircut doesn't have to be an in and out process. You know, like slow it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Give back to the detail.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. From your post, it seems very personable. I went and got my son's haircut at a local place here in Angleton, and it felt very much like just a number, like just
right.
All right, yep, all right. Let me get him real quick. And it doesn't. I haven't been to your shop yet, but from looking at the post, I don't get that vibe from your post. It's very personable.
Yes.
You talking about you have the set amount of time for each client.
Even kids, they have, we dedicate 30 minutes to each kid. So
that's awesome.
But at the same time, community is what I wanted to represent, right? And you can't get to know someone if you're just rushing them in and out of the door. But those places, there's clientele that, there's people who come in that just like, I could give a shit less if you take, I just want a haircut, man. Like, I don't, they're like, I don't want the neck massage. I don't want the shave. I don't want, I just want my haircut. And I'm like, okay, great. But I know you don't want those things because you haven't had them. Yeah. But once you have them, you're going to want them. Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
No. I just rambled.
Well, I guess I'm a client. I'm walking in. For the folks that don't know, walk through the process. What's from start to finish like?
Hey, how are you doing?
That's a good start.
Do you have an appointment or are you just walking in?
She pulls out the clippers and she's like, you ready to go?
Yeah, she probably has them on hand.
She's like, hey, how are you doing? Are you walking in or you just have an appointment? Okay. So the whole process, if you sign up for a service, if you just get a haircut, right? So you're going to get a good consultation. That's very important, right? Make sure you and your barber are on the same page. And then you get the haircut. You get a neck massage, a straight razor on the back of the neck, a shampoo, style, all the things, right? It's just a thorough process from beginning to end. Yeah. But we also offer facials. So that's another thing too.
Really?
Yeah.
Facials.
No, it's not like...
Are you good?
Not used to all these tech.
There's a lot of stuff in the way.
A lot of stuff going on.
Right. I'm used to a big open space.
The facials.
The facials.
It's not like you go to a spa and, it's not like that.
That's all I see. So help me figure out a man facial.
Okay. I'm not going to make eye contact with y'all right now because I'm a robot. So I'm going to go in robot mode.
Okay.
So a haircut is a haircut, neck massage, straight razor on the back of the neck, and a shampoo. A step up from that is going to be a haircut and beard trim. You're going to get all that plus a beard trim. And then you get a full service, which is the whole package of a haircut. Then you get a beard trim, a beard wash, a hot towel, a beard conditioning treatment, another hot towel. So you get 2 shaves in between each one. And so you get a shave with the grain and against the grain, a cold towel, and aftershave. And then you get the full experience is after that. That comes with the facial. So you get 2 extra hot towels and a 3-step facial, a cleanser, an exfoliator, and a moisturizer.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It's an hour.
Is it an hour?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it going an hour.
It's an hour.
I think I had the second one because I heard about this beard stuff and it was a process, man. I think you put a hot towel on my beard so it would like loosen up my hairs. And then what else did you do on it? It was like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Think about it.
It feels like a lot because men don't get this done, right?
Yeah.
And then they become spoiled. So I know we do a really good beard wash because your beard gets exposed to everything that you get exposed to. So if you're working outside, it's getting exposed to all that dirt and the climate and the humidity and birds and what
birds.
You'd be surprised like what I find in beards, right?
Wow.
So
I'd be surprised what I find.
I know.
You should keep a little jar of everything you find. And just throw some things in there that like
sometimes I don't even tell them I find something.
Oh no.
No, it's just like crumbs. I'm just throwing out random things. So your beard gets exposed to everything that you do, but it's kind of like peeling an onion, you got to get that outer shell off to rejuvenate, right? So just cleansing it really well, doing a hot towel, things like that. It's simple, but because your beard's curly, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot gets tucked up in there because you have cowlicks that grow in every which direction. So it helps us pull it out. So that way we can make sure that we don't miss anything. You don't have like some random long hair.
Yeah.
I'm saying out to here because your beard's so long, man.
Yeah, my beard's curly underneath. I feel like you know more about this thing than I do just glancing at it.
Yeah, I make
I'm a little
hair contact.
intimidating.
I don't make eye contact. So I'm just trying to like not overanalyze your beard.
I'm up here. I'm up here, okay?
That's good.
I don't.
That's a good one. I'm gonna steal that one.
I'm up here. I should get a shirt made probably,
Yeah,
but it comes off like you're like the shop's more of a beard shop, because if you look at, there's all these amazing beard cuts that I wanted you to come on. So sometimes he wants people to come on, and I'll have to do research for that, and he'll do research on you or the people I want.
Research means stalking Facebook.
Yeah,
That's what it is nowadays. Unless you have a website, which you do, but
I do it every
don't
day.
use it right.
If I have a client on my books I've never had before, I'll definitely look them up first.
You have to stalk. So I showed him a lot of good pictures. Some of these guys have huge beards. I like what you did with Arnold's, my uncle.
Yeah.
He had a curly mustache, and he has
so
like these
cute.
nice curls. He almost looks like
Now his curls are so unique.
Are they natural?
Those are natural.
Wow.
Yes.
Lucky guy.
We'll put a picture up on that, but he has a really good look, and you did good with him. But it comes off like a beard shop, but then didn't you start it to be just like a barber shop, more haircuts?
No. So I think it was time is an illusion. So when I was in Pearland, after Roosters, I started in my own like little suite, right? I had my own room to myself, and ABC 13 actually did a little segment about beards in there. There's actually a local person who makes beard oils, and they found out about me through him, and so we kind of did this segment together, and it was on ABC 13, right? So
wow.
Yeah. And then they're like, oh my gosh, there's people who actually do beards. And then it just, word of mouth is the best compliment and the best advertising. And it just kind of went from there. So I think I kind of built that reputation for beards, right? Because there really wasn't anything local that offered things that, there's definitely barbers that do it. But when it's kind of in front of someone's face, or you have that word of mouth that's running around a small community like ours, that it kind of others attract alike, right? So if one person goes there, it just kind of becomes the theme. Plus, that's with this whole COVID thing, there's a lot of people that were not doing beards, and we never took that off the table. So
yeah, because you have to have a mask when you cut, and right. Well,
no.
Yeah. I went to my salon, and it was weird because everybody had masks, and I was like, I can't really wear one because you're cutting where the mask would be. So,
right.
But yeah, whatever with that.
While we're on this subject, right? I got asked by our marketing people. I'm going to put a plug in. Marketing design team is who I use.
Hello.
Hello. They're a local business as well. They're fantastic. So, they asked about the whole mask situation. This is real life, right? Everyone avoids this conversation. I think we all can agree that none of us have been through a pandemic before, right? So we don't know what the hell we're doing.
Yeah.
Respect each other. If you want to wear a mask, great. If you don't want to wear a mask, whatever.
Yep, definitely.
Right? So it does make my job easier if you don't wear one, but at the same time, hey man, I'm just honored to have you here being part of my business because I was shut down for 2 months.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you, and I'll do whatever you want.
That's a great outlook, and I think that I wish we could all have that mindset of we're all just our own person, our own feelings, our own beliefs.
Podcast, maybe it'll inspire people to not be an asshole.
Wow.
Maybe so. Right. I doubt it though.
It's good that you weren't in like California, because I think you would still be shut down right now.
No, they're open now.
They just how long ago did they start?
It was probably about a month ago or so.
Okay.
Yeah, I
don't know for sure, but they were shut down a lot longer. It's kind of nice to be in Texas as having a salon or a barber shop.
Absolutely, it's 100% nice to be in Texas, but at the same time, whether you're in California or you're in Texas, we're all in this together. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And we're just trying to figure it out and do the best we can. Just be a good human. So.
How did COVID impact your business? I mean, you said you were shut down for 2 months.
Yeah.
Did it get sketchy there for a minute? Were you worried that you were going to lose your business?
Did I shit my pants? Almost.
Yeah.
It was one of those things that you have to adjust.
Right.
Right. Life is going to happen. You have to just remain neutral. Panicking does nothing but make it worse. Right. So I was in a dark spot comparing myself to all these other businesses in town and what they were doing and all this and that. And it's just like, hold on, what feels right to me? Like what can I do in my business to make me feel good? Right. So we closed down 2 weeks before lockdown. We thought it was 2 weeks to slow the spread, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Flatten the curve.
It was the longest 2 weeks of my life.
Biggest curve ever.
Right. So, I thought I was doing the right thing. And I think we all thought we were doing the right thing. And it was a scary situation because we didn't know what we were facing. We didn't know if we were going to come back. There was a point where I thought, this is it. I worked my entire life for this. I got to live it for 4 months. And I got to open my shop and live my dream for 4 months, and now it's just all being taken away from me. And that was not the case. We were very fortunate. Again, the chamber and market design team came together for local businesses, and they put together like a business card that you could purchase online to prepay for your appointments in the future.
That's awesome.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I have goosebumps. It was so amazing to see how gracious people are and how much they care. And it gave me hope that we were going to come back. And movie theaters opened before us. I'm still a little salty about that.
No pun intended with the popcorn.
Oh, nice. Yeah. 2 for 2.
Good. Don't clap for him. Don't build his head up too much.
It was a stretch.
It's okay.
Stretch.
Yours will come soon. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll get a funny one.
He hears that a lot.
Track. It's 23 minutes in.
Yeah.
So, we came back. I had no idea what to do when we came back. We were very strict when we came back. You had to wait in your car before it was your time for your appointment. We went by strictly only appointment. Like, you can even walk in our building without having an appointment. Our fingers, our knuckles bled because we sanitized so much.
Oh, man.
Like, it was just, it was because you're touching people and you're kind of scared and you don't know what to do. And like, you feel like no matter what you're doing isn't going to be enough, right? And then you have an awakening moment where you're like, hey, out of the 1,500 hours I went to school to get my license, like 700 of it was over sanitation for reasons of HIV and Hep C and like all these scary things, right? I'm pretty confident that I'm a clean barber. I'm pretty confident that I am 100% in control of my environment, and I'm just going to make people feel as safe as possible. I'm going to let them lead and show me what can I do to make them feel comfortable. And I'm just going to adjust as each person comes in the building. That's it. That's all you can do, because at the end of the day, again, this is all of our first pandemic. Yeah. Do the best you can do, At the end of the day, that's all you can do any day, pandemic or not. So
that's a really good answer. I like that. And I forgot about, you probably do go through sanitation things through barber school. I want to talk more about, you went from Amen to get your own shop. And you did talk about your investors, but that whole story, go into that story a little bit. I saw like your growth and like you were, the buildup of the shop, and then you would post like, we're getting closer. You got the chairs in, you got all the fixtures. It was a year and a half of getting
closer.
Yeah, well, I liked watching it because everything in there looks great. I think it has to be your dream place. Like it's not a stepping stone. It's like of course maybe I don't even know. It could be bigger, but it seems like the best thing you could have got.
I wouldn't imagine it any different than how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially even with the people that I put in it, whether it's clientele or the people who work there, right?
Yeah.
Like I couldn't imagine it any better.
That's great.
Now, that is kind of a challenge in itself because you can get comfortable in that. So I'm always looking for opportunity to improve. But as far as the space goes, exactly what I imagined. For sure. And I'm very fortunate to have the investors I had. So I started at Amen. God, time, man. I can't tell you timelines. So so I started at Amen. I rented out a chair from there. I went from that room in Pearland to Amen. Now, that room in Pearland was 100 square feet. It was as big as the bathroom that I have now in my shop. And it was $1,300 a month.
Wow.
Yeah, man. I was ballsy getting that place.
I have no idea how much spots cost. So like, what's a normal spot cost?
I have no idea either, man. Like,
man,
come on, dude,
bro.
Yeah.
No, it was a nice place. It's called Blue Lion. It's right by Buffalo Wild Wings in Pearland, but it's like upstairs. There's 47 rooms up there.
What?
Yes, and you have to have a license of some sort in the beauty industry to be able to rent a room from there. It's like a pretty sweet layout that they have.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is really cool. But it comes with a really hefty price tag. So it was $1,300 a month, and I don't know. There was mostly people who did like women's hair. You can make bank in women's hair, right?
Oh yeah.
And so paying that rent is like, oh, I'm just gonna work for a day and pay it. It's like I ate a lot of ramen noodles. So, fortunately, you just make adjustments, right? I kind of realized, Megan, you can't afford this place anymore. Like you can, but you can't.
Yeah.
And so we moved from Pearland. I was living in Pearland. We moved from Pearland to Lake Jackson. And that's when I saw Amen, and it was chair rental. So I went from $1,300 to $500 a month. And I was like, oh, I can breathe. And I worked every day at Amen from 8 a.m. Until 10 p.m. And I didn't take any lunch breaks. When you love what you do, it's easy, okay? So don't give me them crazy looks, okay?
Okay.
But when you love what you do, it's easy. Was it right thing to do? Probably not. I was probably severely malnourished and, overworked, but I was happy. So, so at the same point when I was there, I started looking at spots to rent at that time. When I went there, I was like, hey guys, so this is my plan. I'm just letting you know, like, I'm going to rent out this chair, but this is I was telling everyone, if you sat in my chair, you knew my plan. Like I was talking it to existence. Right. So I was, saying, I'm going to be here until I get my own place. I'm going to be here until I get my own place. I'm going to be, that was, and they're like, well, what's your place going to look like? And I would always talk about what I have now. Right. And, then a friend of ours, he came to me and was like, hey, my parents are wanting to invest, and I think what you have going on is a great investment for them, and I'm going to help you put together a business plan. And I was like, okay, yeah, like, that sounds great. Are you sure? Like, your parents don't know me. Like, I met them in passing, but like, okay, sure.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, for someone you don't know, that's
right. And that was the first time I put together, since I started working for myself at that point. I got a timeline going for you. It's about 2 years that I started working for. I was a year at Blue Lion and a year in Amen at this point. And so I'd been working so I had everything that I've made, right? I had how many clients I've done. I had all the numbers that you need to put together for a business plan. And I put all that together and I was like, oh my gosh, I freaking killed it. Like, you know what I mean? Like you just have that, you go all the time and you don't take time to be like, holy shit, I did this. You know what I mean? You don't take time to like reap the fruits of your own labor. You know what I mean? To like be able to sit and have appreciation for everything that you've been pouring out, right? So I felt very proud when we gave that over to them, and they came back and they're like, shook my hand and said, I hope you're ready to have a successful business. Wow. I was like, what's happening? And then from there, I'm very thankful for the Wooters for sure. They were able to believe in me sometimes when I didn't want to believe in myself, and it's awesome. It's been a great experience. How many
people do you have working for you?
I have, so there's myself. I'm still behind the chair, very much so. It's a transition I'm trying to get out of right now. I have 5 barbers and a receptionist. So there's 7 of us total.
I love the passion.
Yeah, no, definitely. You can see it and you feel it.
I like it.
Feel the vibes.
That's why you're successful, and that's why someone took a chance on you. And what a blessing too, for y'all to meet and work together, and you're not going to let them down. I mean,
I think honestly, if I didn't believe in my dream so much, that it wouldn't have happened. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like that's the first step in anything.
You mentioned talking it and you almost talking it to fruition.
Right.
Oh, that's like the one. If you read all the, I don't know if you're into motivational books.
Here we go. This is why I thought y'all would click, because she sounds just like you.
And it didn't come naturally for me. My dad always said like the wise things, like he's a very wise person because he's lived through life, right? Mm-hmm. He always said the wise things, but it didn't click until I think I was mentioning this to you earlier. There has to be something that happens in your life that has to shake you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that something happened that transitioned me into Amen.
Just this motivational person or what I guess, what do you look back at now to keep you going? Because there's got to be, like, for me, I need to be, like, jolted again. Like, okay, what am I doing? Why do I need to be on this track? What's important? So what is that for you?
That's a really good question. I became a mom at 19. Yeah. I had kidney failure when I was pregnant with her. And I continued to work anyways. And because it made me happy, right? And now I have my daughter, and she makes me happy. And it's all those little things that kind of keeps you going, right? And but at the same time, when you are working for those things, when you're working for everything that makes you happy, you're working for those things. You're not working for here.
Right.
So I worked those crazy hours. That was 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. without taking breaks, without, and I was having seizures at the time. Unexplained, no reason, anything like that until recently. I found out why. And but I kept going to work. Like it just, work never stopped.
That was your happy place.
That was Jeez Louise, I'm trying to get this right, Paul. It is totally my happy place. And so that's what keeps me going, is my happy place. So I'm very attached. I don't know if it's healthy or not, but it feels good. I'm very attached to anything that makes me feel that way, right? Yeah. So every morning when I was at a point where I didn't want to get up anymore, and when you don't want to get up for the thing that you love most, something's wrong. Yeah. So I would put on those motivational things and just listen to them while I get ready in the morning. Like makeup is a hobby of mine. So I would just put on my face for 2 hours and listen to whatever motivational crap I could pull up on YouTube, and until I had that moment that it's like, oh, click, light bulb. you know, and everything that they started saying started making sense. And have you ever heard of the law of attraction since you're into this stuff?
Oh, yeah.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the law of attraction.
Definitely.
So I read the book The Secret.
Haven't heard of that.
Oh man,
I've heard of it. It has like the stamp
it.
on it, The Secret. Yeah, it's in red.
So now it's on Netflix, right? So for people who don't have the time to
Yeah.
read, if you have an hour and a half to watch something, do it, because that was my light bulb moment when I was like, so your thoughts create your emotions create your motions. What? Did I just crack life? Like,
I thought you're very self-aware. I believe
does not come naturally.
It's coming off that way though. Like you the way you talk, you're analyzing constantly, and you know why you do things, and you explain why you do things, and your thought processes, and you're doing something, because that's what I was going to ask next. But it seems like
the seizure thing. They told me it was stress.
That's the fallback on seizures.
So they're like, oh, you're just stressed out. I'm like, who's not stressed out? You know what I mean? Like, why isn't everyone else doing this? Like, I can't, I'm not allowed to drive. Like, this isn't cool, you know? Like, just because I'm stressed, I'm telling you I'm not stressed.
Yeah.
Like, when you're totally stressed out. But, so I got control of my thoughts. You know what I mean? Like, that's the first thing. Like, you don't know how toxic you are to yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Like super toxic. So digesting all those things and working through them and healing from attachments, and, you know.
We're definitely on the same playing field.
I don't know if this is why you brought me on.
I'm glad, Mike.
We're getting into pick up the mic again. I want your voice.
I'm glad Mike decided to bring you on. When you're talking about the self-talk, that's what was leading toward your seizures. You had negative self-talk, and it just kind of.
So I have a pituitary tumor. I found out 2 weeks before lockdown, and they think it's on a nerve. But being self-employed, I don't have health insurance, and if anything's going to slow me down, I'm going to avoid it at all costs. So that's what they think that pertain to it, but because it is in the pituitary, it's not cancer. So let's just clear the air right now. Like I'm fine. I'm fine.
Get me worried here.
No. I probably should lead with that. It's just something. It's something that comes up that you just kind of have to deal with. So they said that it's the pituitary gland controls all your hormones in your body.
Yeah.
So your hormones can, like, you're married, yes?
Yeah.
Women have.
Thank you. Say it. Women are what?
So she knows where I work now.
I thought she was about to say women are crazy.
Women are crazy.
Oh, yes.
But, I feel like anybody with hormone issues is just going to have a hard time, right?
Yeah.
So I was just all over the place mentally. You say I overanalyze. I have severe anxiety because I analyze everything. So, and if you try to explain that to my parents, who are older generation, anxiety, you're too young for anxiety, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, well, my brain never shuts the hell up. So this is real life for me.
Do you have a hard time sleeping at night or staying asleep at night?
So I go to bed about like 11:30 and wake up at 4:30 right now.
You need to sleep, girl.
I feel more rested getting small sleep than long sleep. If I stay in bed too long, I stay in my thoughts too long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I like, if I stay in bed more than 10 minutes after I wake up, my mind's already gone. Like, it's gone. It's shut down I'm not going to be in high vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel the same way. Whenever my alarm goes off, I have to get up because I'm not going to go back to sleep, because I suffered from anxiety a couple of years ago too. And Mike and my running friends helped me kind of beat it through diet and exercise. But what you're talking about is resonating with me, because the overanalyzing and kind of negative self-talk,
absolutely.
definitely detrimental to the mind.
It is
internally.
Sure.
Did you get into health and fitness through kind of finding?
Fitness?
Yeah.
I've seen some fitness on your page.
From what? How many years ago?
I don't know. I saw some fitness. That's a great stress reliever, though. Yeah. Running or
I'd imagine you dabbled
I'm a
into
third-degree black belt. Fun fact.
Really?
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
You can't just be throwing that stuff out there.
I am. But
Third degree?
That was high school.
Oh, wow.
That was high school.
Holy cow. Wait, in what martial?
Taekwondo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Holy cow. That's impressive, being third degree black
I'd probably
belt.
throw my hip out now, but I could definitely lay someone out still. So
For the love of Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
We haven't mentioned
for
on
any
this.
of those women that come for me for saying they're crazy.
Yeah. Someone's going to try you now. They're going to go to the shop and be like, all right, let's see what you got. They're going to be all suited up already.
Knuckle up.
I feel like it's also our superpower too. So,
that's a cool thing to know. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, you should start with that.
Lead with that. Put that on your business card.
Badass.
I'm really, if you got into the motivational speeches, I'm surprised. Did you change up your diet at all or anything, or?
Now, recently, yes,
Okay.
very recent. So I, when I was having seizures, they prescribed me all sorts of crap.
Oh yeah.
And during Hurricane Harvey, I was actually visiting my parents already in New Mexico. They retired in New Mexico, and I didn't have any access to my medication, and I ran out, and I hit rock bottom, for sure, like mentally, and I never want to go back to that again. Yeah. So I'm very holistic. I'm all about CBD, all about CBD. And then I'm very all about meditating. I truly believe saved my life at one point in my life. So so meditation, drinking water, just little things that you can do that you don't have to overly commit to. Like, I'm not going to change my diet overnight, right?
Exactly.
But I am a lot more food conscious. I'm researching where I'm buying my stuff from, like, where does it come from? Does it have hormones in it? Is it grass fed? Is it, or however, what is in this thing? Because all the research I did about, I don't know what I'm talking about, but all the research that I did for me personally, that I just kind of had an aha moment. And it's like, God, they're mass producing food at such a high scale that they're having to put all these things into it to provide for us, right? So these things don't always agree with your chemistry. And because of that, we have side effects, right? We have like overly large love handles and, whatever. So I'm just trying to be more health conscious about the things I'm putting in my body. And then I walk every day. And that's very new as of recent, something that I'm just trying to do because I don't want to be put back on medication for this whole tumor thing. I am going to get it removed. And it's like a 3-day recovery. So.
Wow. You're on the right track. Walking, diet. I got into some anxiety too. I called John. I was like, I think I called him when I was having an anxiety attack and I was freaking out. And I wanted
needs to be normalized. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I wanted to talk to someone that also had it, but I also was aware of the things I was doing during the time. So, and I know they were bad. So like if I drink too much caffeine, I'll get worked up. So if I eat too much like processed foods, and if I stop running a lot too, running really keeps me in check. Running, we've discussed on the podcast before, gets you in that meditative state when you run.
I've heard that.
Yes.
I wouldn't even run if the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was chasing my ass.
Come on now.
No.
That walking, I bet you're going to turn into running.
So I'm a naturally fast walker. Like I'm always like, because
you're on your feet all day.
Yes, I'm on my feet all day.
Yeah,
so like my friends or my family that would be around me, they're like, why the hell are you walking so fast?
A speed walker.
Yeah. So
it's gonna transcend.
I'm gonna be that old lady in the mall.
If you keep doing it, that's how our buddy James, he's a keto guru. Mm-hmm. He came on the podcast and he started walking, and he's always the type where you gotta kind of lead him into the next thing. So we were like, hey, you should start running. He's like, I'm not gonna run. I'm not gonna do it. And then he's running 13 miles on the weekend. Right. And then we started talking, hey, you should start lifting a little bit. It'll grow your legs. It'll grow your upper body. And he's like, I'm not going to lift. I have no interest in lifting.
He's lifting now.
Now he's lifting 2 days a week, 2 or 3 days a week.
More like he's doing the stuff more than us now, and he's our motivation now.
Y'all are pretty fit.
I've been sucking in this whole time. That's why I can only talk for so long.
That's why I wear flowy things.
I like your shirt. I was looking. That's man. You already got the shop shirts.
You probably wish you had one like it, right?
Yeah, I hope definitely. That's what's in the bag. that's a cool shirt.
That really is.
I like it.
Thanks. Market design team designed our logo.
So is that one of your partners?
No, they're just awesome people that have a passion for building businesses. And have a passion for just doing everything that they can to support a business. So websites, social media, logos, they do it all. Yeah.
I almost feel like nowadays social media is more powerful than a website.
Dude.
I was going to mention that. You said
social media is powerful in so many ways.
Yeah.
Mental health, for one.
Oh,
you got to be careful. Yep. Yeah, for sure. So it's very nice having them so I can stay off of it a little bit more. You know what I mean? Because I'm behind my chair all the time and I don't have time to, do all that. But social media, as far as businesses go, thriving. Like word of mouth is social media.
Yep.
It just is. I was listening to, I don't know what podcast I was listening to the other day when they said that texting is actually the number one form of communication now.
It has to be.
Yeah,
People
for sure.
text more than they talk. Isn't that scary?
Sometimes
because texts get interpreted all sorts of ways. Like that's not real communication. That can break someone up real quick.
There's a lot of misunderstandings though that can happen through text. Almost like sending emails. So it's kind of dangerous at times. Even just texting Mike, I'm like, well, what? Hope he catches that right. We
have to call each other sometimes. Like, I still love you.
I didn't mean that, Mike.
Yeah.
But
I'm sorry I didn't put an exclamation point.
I know.
Oh, emojis are important now. So because
emojis are important.
It's so much.
I feel obnoxious, but they're important.
Yeah. Okay, So we send emails all day at work, and I find myself having to need to put a smiley face because. But it's not professional. But like you said, we text so much now that we have to put something that defines an emotion in there, so you get the point, or you understand where you're coming from, or a winky face. They're very silly things, but I mean, it takes away that confusion that could happen. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it totally does. Emojis are cool.
So
in my book.
So your team manages your social media for you, so you don't have to worry as much about it.
Yeah. So they have someone on their team that just handles our social media. Her name is Carla. She's great, and I'm learning, she's learning us, right? So, but yeah, they post.
What other platforms are you on?
Facebook and Instagram and Google Pages.
Google Pages.
I think.
Pages.
I think she just manages our Google account, like our reviews and stuff like that.
Are y'all going to dabble in TikTok or Snapchat or any of that?
I would love to.
I think y'all like doing barber videos, like dancing on TikTok.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that would kill it.
I would love to. A couple of our barbers are great at having that that intuition, like, oh, that doesn't.
Yeah.
I'm like, next person.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that doesn't register in my, but it's like a full-time job. Yeah. So it's good that someone else is doing it. Me and Mike, we're trying to use social media to get our podcast out. And that's a full-time job in itself, just trying to post to the different platforms. It's kind of ironic how non-integrated it is, like trying to, like it's cool that Instagram and Facebook are kind of one.
Yes.
But it's not real cohesive. Like you can't really take the content.
You can't post on Facebook and tag it to Instagram. You have to post on Instagram for it to go on Facebook.
Yeah, but you can't put a link in Instagram. You can't put a link.
You put the link and it's not actually a hyperlink.
I'm not that, I haven't tried
Don't
that
do
yet.
it.
Okay.
Don't do it.
Noted.
When we post this podcast, it's a process because we still post on our personal because we don't have enough followers yet to really get it out. But we hate it. We're like, all right, send me this picture. It's like,
y'all should come to the shop, and there's a whole community that comes in there and just talk about y'all's podcast.
Shop talk.
You know how many local businesses, like, just people come through the shop for sure. Like, anyways.
If only we knew someone that could talk
Barber-
about it.
Well, barbershops
there
are
every
great
day.
for connections.
I like that.
Barbershops are great for connections.
Yeah,
I want to come in.
that's like good networking because you got a lot of time. It's like 30
Absolutely.
minutes, 45 minutes, whatever it is.
And even for like our small businesses and stuff that, I say ours, Brazoria County, because I am part of Brazoria County now, County Seat Barbers, right? So having a flow of people that come in, we have all walks of life that come in there. We have a lot of judges that come in. We have a lot of lawyers that come in. We have a lot of bartenders that come in. Like, it's just from all walks of life, right? We have a lot of plant workers, all of that. But we also have a lot of small businesses that people don't know about. So did y'all travel when y'all were kids?
No.
A little bit.
Do you travel now as adults?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So when you go,
Nope.
And I'm not going
I'm
to.
going to talk to you now.
Turn my mic off.
Just kidding. And so when you go into these small restaurants, do you ever remember walking in and just seeing like pamphlets for everything?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is what our town has to offer.
Yep.
Yeah.
So when you walk into our barbershop, there's a front room. That's what I intended that room to be, is to have all the things that have what Brazoria County has to offer, whether it's like someone's putting on a concert, or someone's opening this business, or someone's doing carpet cleaning, or, it could be anything. And just to be able to provide for that. But that involves people touching things a lot. And because of COVID, that never happened, and it makes me sad a little bit. So I'm putting this in your podcast. If you have a local business and you would like to drop off any literature, you are more than welcome to, and we will advertise for you for free.
That's
Okay.
awesome. That's so great. Like, local businesses helping, especially, and after the pandemic, small businesses, local businesses need to help prop each other up. That's kind of why me and Mike started doing this. We wanted to help share the messages of small businesses, because these corporate organizations that were deemed essential they got the blessing to stay open. But like shops like you, who arguably could be classified as essential, because without shops like you make people feel and look good.
Right.
If you look good and you feel good,
When
then
people,
here we go.
so I was, he brought himself back.
okay,
Yeah.
all right, now I'm
He's-
back.
You may
Turn
turn up.
mic off.
No, you may turn
52
it back
seconds.
up now.
Okay, turn it up a
There
little
you go.
higher than Mike's. Okay.
So, yeah, definitely. So having that, we're all in this together, whether you own a business or not.
Yeah.
Like, right, we're all in this together. So having those connections and being able to come together and do those things, right? But to mark yourself essential, you're essential to yourself, right? When I would read those things on the forums, like, we're essential because we make people feel better about themselves and mental health and all of that. And it's like, yes, but the government does not care about that. You know what I mean? Like, they're just trying to keep all the germs away. Like, no more cooties. They basically don't want any cooties.
Right.
So, I feel like everyone's essential because it's important to you,
Exactly.
if that makes sense.
Oh, 100%.
So, whatever someone has that is important to them, and if they want it advertised, I would love to showcase it. So
That's awesome.
Another thing you were doing is what was it? Helping out first responders. I saw
Yeah.
that you posted recently. What were you doing?
just what we did last weekend, or
Yeah. Oh, you were posting pictures. I think you're giving haircuts to the first responders. Or
Yeah. So actually, in our shop for local police officers and local firefighters, they get a free haircut every month. So it's just a way of saying thank you for taking care of us. You know what I mean? So anyone who works for Angleton, they come to our shop. When I have my next location, whoever, see, speaking that into existence.
Ooh.
I love it.
So whenever I have my next shop, those local officers and those local firemen will also get free haircuts. So we do that already. But Val 22, have you guys heard of Val 22?
I haven't.
Oh,
No.
man. So I came across them through having them as clients, the people who run the organization. And I'm very big on mental health, and they kind of came in my life at that time. And it's funny how the universe shows up for you in those ways, right? So he came in, and he is a huge advocate or this organization is a huge advocate to suicide prevention for veterans who struggle with PTSD. And it's a nonprofit organization, and they provide counseling and services for veterans and their families that are struggling with PTSD. And it forms almost like a brotherhood, a support group. And I asked how I could be involved, and they're like, could you do haircuts maybe at the hike? They do a hike every year. It's like a 3 or 4 mile hike, and it's just through Lake Jackson. And so they have a bunch of vendors that come out, just anyone who wants to be part of the cause, right? And everyone's there for the same reason, and it just feels good to be a part of it. But we give out free haircuts for them, and we have a rule: it's free, it's on the house, as long as you tell us a good story. I don't care I don't care what it's about. It just has to be good. It has to be something that I can take with me. So
that's great. Where's so you mentioned the next location? Where in your mind, where's the next dream location for you?
Speak it.
In Brazoria County.
I like the wink.
Right next to the one she has.
In Brazoria County. I would be appreciative for anywhere. I think that the pandemic for us was a huge blessing, because when we opened back up, every damn person needed a haircut. And that was our opportunity. We had only been open for 4 months before we had to shut down for 2 months, And so we were shut down half the time that we were open, and it was just myself, and I. It was myself, Morgan, and Miranda, and they're barbers as well. Miranda had just only been with us for maybe a month and a half, almost 2 months. And so it's just us three. And we shut down, and then we came back, and I came back and had to hire 3 more people.
Wow.
Like the first week.
Wow.
I had to hire 3 more. I had to hire a receptionist, and I had to hire 2 more barbers. And now there's 7 of us total. So we went from 3 of us to 7 of us within maybe... So not including the two months that we were closed, right? Because we were not operating at all. So we went from that maybe within like 2 months after opening, we went from 3 people to 7 people.
Wow. That's quite a bit of employees.
Yeah, and we're busy every day. Every day.
Did you already know how to do like the books and all that? Do you do all payroll?
Ruth, my investor.
Okay.
She is... from Venezuela.
Okay.
And she has no filter. She's amazing. She has no filter. It was scary at first because she has no filter. So it was scary at first, and we bumped heads a lot because this is my baby, and she's never worked in this industry, and she's like, but this is my money, and I'm like, but this is my baby, and all
That's
of that.
Tough.
Yes, it was very tough. But at the same time, we have a mound of respect for each other, and so I was able to prove to her work ethic and all that, and she does our numbers. So she's the numbers, and I do operations, and there's no way in hell I would be able to juggle both, because I am super busy behind the chair still, and I'm busy being involved in the business and all of that, and running around like a chicken with my head cut off. So she's able to manage all of that for us, and without her, there's no way and chance that I would have been able to juggle both. Personally, for me, everyone is different, but I can't sit at a computer. And this is high tech for me right now. Like,
it is for us.
Yeah, especially
right?
For us.
Now, if you ever want to talk about clippers or shears or anything like that, I'm game. But when it comes to numbers and stuff, I'm very fortunate for Ruth, for sure. Just not my thing.
Do you see yourself in the future managing these things, these shops, and stop cutting hair?
So you brought up numbers, right? I am at a point now where I want to understand that. You know what I mean? Like, it's important that I understand, and it's important that it's like playing chess, right? Yeah. What I'm doing right now, being behind my chair, it's not producing, it's not bringing anything to the table anymore. I can come back from behind my chair and be a lot more beneficial to my team, being more hands-on with my team, being more hands-on with the clients that come in, and I don't have that time if I'm chained to my chair. Mm-hmm. So clients do not like that. Men are married to their barbers.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. They're not going to want to lose you.
There's a client that jokes with me. I'm not going to mention names, but he tells his wife too. He's like, I will cheat on my wife before I cheat on you. Don't put me in this awkward position.
I can imagine.
He's a goofball. He should honestly be a comedian because he's just so funny. He means nothing by it. But, that men are very committed to, they're consistent. That's why I chose to do men's hair and not women's hair. Like, it's one of those things that you become comfortable with someone. So when you get a haircut, you get it for all the events in your life, all of them. And you get to know these people that are in your chair. You get to know the person that's behind you cutting your hair. You show up for weddings, for when your baby's born, when funerals, unfortunately. I'm giving myself goosebumps. Your job interviews, anything and everything, just because I'm having a bad day and I want to feel better about myself. And being able to be there for people, I'm going to miss it. And that's what keeps me in my chair, because I have such strong connections with people. These people are family. I don't have any family around here. And I'm blessed to go into work every day and be surrounded by people who feel like family. And so that's really hard to disconnect and to tell people no. So I will always cut hair. I mean, it's going to happen. But because I have such big dreams, it's going to take time for me to invest into that. And there's not enough time in the day between being a mom and being a barber and being a business owner. I'm going to have to share myself equally. And right now I need to be a business owner and a mom. So
you're balancing it really well, though. I think it's going to take time.
Thank you, because it doesn't feel like it.
Well, I don't think it ever will.
No. I don't.
When you say, you're so successful, I cringe when people say, oh, you're so successful. Because do y'all ever get,
that's why you're so successful, because you can't hear it. Like you're never going to be good enough for yourself. And that's what makes people successful.
Exactly.
So you have the right mindset.
Right. But when you get told that, it's almost hard to accept it. And then, but you get that moment where you take a step back. It's like, damn, I did this.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
I think for business owners, there's probably more, you obviously have a lot of more teeth. Mike and I, we work for somebody else. So there's not that feeling. Maybe when I first started working where I'm working, there was a feeling of when they said, hey, you got your performance review and hey, you did a good job. And then I was like, yeah, I did a good job. Of course I did a good job. Like yeah, exactly. But now it's not, I don't feel that feeling of, hey, I did this. It's not for me. It's for somebody else. But for you,
what would it take?
We need to do our own thing, our own business. This gives us that feeling, I think, that we're missing.
Listening?
I hope so. I hope he is.
Yeah.
Mike's like, please don't.
We get that feeling from this. We don't plan on profiting off this. This is like just a passion project. But
when you pour enough passion in something, it pours back into you.
That's what people say. People say you got to find your passion, and then the money will come after your passion.
It's not necessarily money. I will say that right now.
Yeah.
This is rewarding for us.
Right.
And we put ourselves into it. We make little upgrades. We put money into it. We enjoy talking to people. We like
money comes, right? But I think what we really benefit from is the things that you can't put a price tag on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those things. You pour your passion. Passion pours back into you. It's things that you can't pay for passion, right? I can't hire someone and teach them passion. No. They have to naturally have that. On my whole team, that's what they have. Yeah. They have drive. They have passion. I can't teach you that. I can teach you how to cut hair all day long, but I can't teach you God's natural gift, right? So y'all are obviously passionate about this, or you wouldn't have invested this pretty sweet setup that you have, right? Yeah. I mean, from the backdrops to the sound barriers, are those things?
The sound boards.
Hey, look at her.
She's good.
I'm learning.
She has her own podcast set up already.
I wish it would be freaking sweet. Obviously, I have a good voice for it.
Yeah.
So, but you know, y'all invested all of this. You wouldn't have invested in this if you didn't believe in yourself a little bit, right?
I don't know.
That's a good question. We'll get back to you.
But you just run with that belief.
Yeah.
That belief, like that's the first step in success is believing that it's a possible.
Right.
Seeing it, visioning it, sitting with it, and then you align yourself. So you have, this is success, right? So when you have
that does look like success.
yes,
Just
princess. So this is success, and you're over here, and you have this fire burning inside of you, but you are stuck. As long as whatever you are doing is lining with what you want, it'll come to you. But it's not going to come to you as long as you believe in it, because your thoughts create your emotions. Your emotions create your emotions, right? So when your thoughts, when you believe you can do something, that's going to create your emotion. Your emotion creates your daily habits. Your daily habits are all of your emotion, how you naturally do things, waking up, getting out of bed the first 5 minutes, you know, making your bed in the morning, having that discipline. When you believe in something, your body just comes aligned with that higher vibration. And whatever that higher vibration is that thing that you want, and it's going to draw it closer to you. So what y'all have going on, go for it.
Definitely.
Life is way too short. So my dad, again, going back to my dad, he taught me, make sure whatever you do in life is what you love to do, or make sure what you are doing supports what you love. Life is too short for anything else.
That's inspiration. I'm taking like all these notes here.
Hey man, you and I are on the same wavelength.
Yeah,
You
I don't
have
know
my
where
social.
Mike is, but
You need
You have my
to.
social media. Hit me up anytime.
You need to go talk to people
Yeah.
because you're
I
a
talk to
success
people-
story.
I talk to people every day in my chair. This is what I talk about. in my chair.
Seminars. Get big people in there and talk about your story, man.
So my favorite question to ask in the shop,
Uh-oh.
I don't have basic conversations in my chair. I do, but I don't at the same time. I like to get people's mind thinking. So I'm going to ask y'all my favorite question, if that's okay.
okay.
Uh-oh.
Out of all the years of experience, y'all are in the hot seat now.
Yeah.
Okay? Out of all your years of experience that you've had so far, what is your most valuable piece of advice that you would give to somebody?
Ooh. You want to go first? Or
Put
you
it
want-
on the, I want to hear what you have to say.
It sounds a little cheesy, but I think the most valuable piece of advice would be something that my dad would always have said to me. And to sum it up is, don't do anything half-ass. If you do something that's half-ass and you have to go back to redo it, you lost all respect for whoever had respect for you from then is not going to have respect for you. And they're always going to remember the bad. No matter how much good you do, they're always going to remember, hey, well, this guy, he's kind of a half-asser. He didn't really finish this. So that's what I try to tell my kids. If like even feeding the dog, do it good. Don't fill up the cup and spill food all over the garage. Do it really, get it perfect as you
Be
can.
efficient.
Yeah. Do you know that Will Smith quote, one brick at a time?
Yeah, to build a wall. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of how I infer it into my kids. Like, you're not going to build this wall in a day. You're going to set the brick as perfectly as you can set it. And then tomorrow you're going to come back and you're going to do the same thing.
I love that.
That's probably mine, is do even the small things, do them as best as you can.
I'm going to add on to that kind of something similar to what my dad said. He said, every morning when you get up, you put your feet up under you and you just go out there and live up to your own expectations and not necessarily the expectations that someone else has for you, but you live up to your own expectations and you just do your best. Whatever that looks like, you just do your best. You put your feet up under you and you just do your best every day.
And I think that too is really good too, because everyone, at least all the people we talk to, we try to surround. Another reason why Mike and I are doing this, we want to surround ourselves with successful people. We want to be.
You are like the people you surround yourself with.
Exactly. We want to vibe. We want to get your vibes and somehow rub it off on us, and then Mike and I go start off a business or do something. I don't know, but we want to. We want to.
Podcasts are the new thing.
I know. we want to be around people like yourself. That way, it just bleeds onto us.
Yeah.
I don't know where the hell I was going with that.
But you can come to the County Seat Barbers. There are a lot of people in there like that. Just come hang out. We Definitely. Give out free whiskey.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about what makes your shop different.
Wait, hold on. Before that, let's listen. I want to hear you.
I don't have an answer.
He does have an answer.
No, my answer is basically the same thing. It aligns with integrity and then, doing your best. I'm super OCD about everything I do. And I want my action to lead to the next action and to lead up to a goal. All this stuff's the same stuff, even with running. Like you're talking about setting the brick. Like you can't think about the end. You have to think about the now. If you think about the end, that's what brings anxiety and all the stuff we worry about. Or you're not gonna do the best thing you can.
You set your intention in the end, right? But you focus on now.
Because that's what counts. Mm-hmm. And you influence other people. I'm big about influence other people too. Like if I want to lead by example. I want you know what I mean?
No, exactly.
Yeah. I want to set a good example for everybody around me. So I like to be positive around everybody. I like to be motivational. I like to compliment people, and make them feel better. I'm more focused on the people around me and making them feel good. And I don't know. That's how I'm living life right now.
Love it.
That's awesome.
All right, back to your shop. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I just like asking that question because it gets people thinking. And it gets them out of their normal habits up here, right?
Yeah.
And when they give me an answer, they're not giving it to me. They're giving it to themselves. Yeah. You know what I mean? People don't project onto other people about that person. They project on other people because of what they're feeling on the inside. So I just do it in a positive way. Like, hey, this morning, Friday mornings, get breakfast for everybody. And we started a new thing today that what is something that you're thankful for this week. I don't care if it's because you like your outfit this week or if it's, something much bigger than that. But then also follow it up with a goal. Like, what is your goal for next week? Is it going to be personal or business, or I don't care what it is. You're welcome to share it with all of us. And they always do. They always want to share because we are so close to each other and we understand each other. But, just having that, creating positive habits in your head should be normalized. Yeah. It just should.
Definitely.
I think, we get too programmed into the negative because like you said, the negative, people are always going to remember the negative. Even for ourselves, we're always going to remember the negative, right? We're never going to remember, oh, but I did this right. But I didn't, I nicked somebody. It's like, but the haircut was right.
Lost his eye though.
He lost his eye, dang it. But
that hair
he looked fresh
good.
as hell. No, it's just a dumb analogy. But so anyways, about the shop, what makes us different? Everybody can serve liquor. We give it away for free. So that doesn't really set us apart because anybody can do that.
But that's different. It's kind of like the salon thing where they get, Bellinis or mimosas. You have like, whiskey and what else do you have? I don't want to misspeak.
No, I don't really drink a whole lot of liquor. I'm a beer person. So we get a lot of stuff donated actually. Like I'm so grateful for the people who come in the shop. Like when I talk about, money's going to come, but other things come, people show up, right? So it's just cool. I'm learning new things, but we mostly carry like Woodford Reserve and like 1792 and like different kind of bourbons and 1835 and those kind of things. So we have that. We have water, sodas. We have for kids.
Wine.
Zimas. So the month of May, we're going to do mimosas for moms since it's Mother's Day month.
Okay.
Sweet.
Yeah. So we'll have mimosas for moms. But moms come in and drink beer while their kids getting a haircut. It's kind of cool. Like,
that's great.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So for kids, we have ice cream. We have Bluebell ice cream, like in those little cups.
Yep.
And can you see my hands down here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
So whatever. I'm very expressive. So we have ice cream for them. We have cookies for them. Shelby is one of our other barbers. She loves to bake, so she's always bringing cookies up to the shop. And then we have candy as well. So we try to make it just about whoever's in the shop. It's about you. You know what I mean? That's what sets us apart. Is when you come in, it's who we are as people. We are a bunch of smart asses. So joking is apparently welcomed, is what someone just wrote out on a review. He called us a smart ass in our review.
Is that a good thing?
No. He said, I'm going to quote it because I love reviews and I love reading them. He said, I've been to a lot of barbershops in the United States, and I'm so glad to have this one in my town. And the ladies are so friendly, and they have that smart ass quality that you're looking for in a barber. So jokes are welcomed.
Love it.
And we do. We just crack jokes. It's just a warm, welcoming. You are family when you walk in. You get treated. I don't care if you're a judge or if you bust tables. You're going to get treated the same. And I think that's what kind of offers that makes us so different, is that we care about you. Like, you're one of us now. Welcome. We're a bunch of fucking weirdos. Excuse my language. But we're here to make you feel better, but also you're in it for the long haul with us now. So, and it's whatever we can do to make you feel comfortable. We always make sure you never go thirsty. You're going to get asked if you want to drink about 4 times. You're going to walk away just feeling refreshed, feeling rejuvenated with a good conversation, with hopefully a hot towel and a shave, because that's our favorite thing to do, is just to slow down and like the traditional barber. You know what I mean? Like the things that barbers don't do all the time, because barbering is becoming popular again, thank goodness, because I've been doing this for 15 years. And as a female barber, I got my barber's license when I was 16. Being a female barber, dude.
We didn't even talk about that. I guess that's...
Well, hello. If you stuck around this long, now you know.
Wait a minute.
No, because I ramble and people are like,
female
barber. Okay.
Yeah, I ramble and I can get off topic. I'm telling you, I'm all over the place. There's no timeline for me.
That's good. We love it.
So, I became a barber when I was 16. I'm very fortunate to know what I wanted to do at a very young age. I think a lot of people put too much pressure on themselves. Like, I don't know what to do with my life. It's like, just do it.
Do you?
Yeah, do you, boo-boo. That's what I always tell my 11-year-old. I was a barber when I was 16, and being a female barber, that's why I went to sport clubs, because I would walk into a barbershop and they're like, hey, white girl. I'm like, oh, shit, I am white girl.
I don't fit here.
It's like, oh, I did not realize that.
Do you plan on selling or getting into products at all? Like making your own products or anything?
My own products, I would love to. I would love to. Time
will tell.
I'm very picky about products and stuff like that, and I love the products that we have. Actually, we just got some products in last week. We're not selling them now. I'm testing. I like to try things out for at least a month before I'm like, okay, I like this. Because I don't want to ever give somebody something that I just don't like. And so barbers that I'm kind of obsessed with and are inspiration, 3 of them came together and created their own barber brand. So this product line is made by barbers, and it's so mainstream that I go back and forth if I want to make my own product, or if I want, that's maybe in the future, just not right now. Because when you have someone who's already doing something and they're doing something well, why not support them? You know what I mean?
Right.
So.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough because you need some variety too, though. But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
Three,
right now. It doesn't have to be right now.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's one of my anxieties is I feel like I have to do everything right now. And it's like, 2 years ago, I was in a different situation. And I thought I had to have it right then. And now it's working out. And it feels like it was right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, yes, a long answer to your question. Yes, I would love to make our own products one day. I personally don't have the knowledge of chemistry and everything that goes into making products. So that's going to take me down that path. Right now, I'm really focused. I build my team so fast that I didn't get to that just kind of like, okay, guys, y'all are all great and fantastic. Here's a shitload of clients. Work it out. I want to spend more time with them. And so I'm in that transition right now is where I want to spend time with them and build them up and have a really good foundation. So that way, when I step away from the shop, they know exactly how to run it without me. Yeah. And then I can focus on things like that. So.
Well, Megan, we appreciate you coming on the podcast.
Man, thanks for listening to me ramble.
It was great. I think this is my favorite one so far.
Be careful what you say
on the mic anyway.
His brownie points are going right back up.
Actually, I just love this podcast.
He may get a free haircut on us.
Now we're cooking.
You're working your way to a free haircut, bud.
There's not much to cut up there, so
that's okay. We do head shaves too.
Okay. Dang,
just got it. He didn't have a lot of beard here either.
I know. How
do face shaves too?
I'm gonna need that.
A facial. You need those.
Always need a facial.
Yeah. What's really funny is the guys who get head. I'm gonna end it with this. The guys who get head shaves always ask for a shampoo.
Is that weird? Is that a thing?
No, it's a thing. It's not weird. I don't think it's weird.
Why would you need a shampoo? A bald
head?
Have
you ever had somebody shampoo your head for you?
No,
that's great.
I haven't.
It's amazing.
That's great.
I cut my own hair. Mm-hmm. That's probably why it's butchered. But I'm gonna go and check out your shop.
Yeah, we won't judge you. It's fine.
Maybe you have more hair than you think. You're just cutting it wrong.
Wrong.
Yeah. I forgot to mention John's a barber too.
Can I see what you got?
Let's see.
Oh my gosh.
Do it here. Do it like that.
Bro,
it's not.
I thought you were gonna show me a cul-de-sac.
Oh, it's like is that what it is? Like going around?
He doesn't have bad hair. He just
I just
crazy.
Can't style it worth a damn.
Yeah, that's what we're here to teach you.
Well, I'm gonna check it out, Megan. So, how can people find you on social media?
The County Seat Barbers. I feel like it's a pretty unique name. So if you just type that in, you're gonna find us immediately on Instagram, on Facebook.
And Twitter, maybe, and TikTok coming soon, maybe.
I will get my girls on that.
There we go.
Check it out.
You don't have to do it. Get someone else.
Get someone else to do it.
I'm not a tech person. I'm an in real life person.
Yeah.
So.
Well, thank you for coming on, Mike. Great pick.
Yeah,
she's awesome.
I had a good pick.
Huh?
You were my pick.
Yeah, I was like, a pick. What picture did I miss out on?
All right. Well, thank you, Megan.
No problem.
It was awesome.
I appreciate you guys.
Bye.
Yeah.